I think my favourite place to play is probably London. I like playing in London because I know the crowd in London. I know if I'm doing a gig in London, unless it's in some really strange venue, I know that it will normally be pretty decent, and I also know that the people who turn up will be on the same page as me musically. Whereas say if you go to somewhere like Jakarta or some obscure place in South America, you just don't know who's there. You don't know what their reference points are. You don't know what records they know that you've got on your USB stick. So sometimes you can completely lose people because what you think is like, I need to put back on something which I know that will bring the crowd back round, and that might not be the right record at all. So, and you just don't know that until you start, and you might have a bumpy half an hour and you kind of get into the groove, or you might never get into the groove. So it's always, I mean, you're always trying to adapt what you do to the crowd to a degree, but you've also got to please yourself. So on a good night, you're pleasing yourself and you're pleasing the crowd, and you're not, you know, I understand that some people go out and they want to hear songs that they know and they can sing along to. But I don't want to play a whole set of them. So I've dropped in a few of those, but I want to play some new music that I'm excited by, or some new stuff that I've made myself in the studio, or new remixes and whatever. So I'm trying to sort of get that balance right. And that's what I'm thinking about when I'm DJing. I think, oh, I need to maybe play another one now to sort of like, you know, bring them back in again. And then I'll maybe think, oh, now it's time. I've just played a vocal record, I'm going to play an instrumental, or I'm going to play, I've had something with a sax solo, I won't play another record with a sax solo for like half an hour or whatever. So you're trying to sort of juggle it to sort of, and on a good night, you get it right. On a bad night, you don't get it right, you know. And sometimes the best ones is when you rock it but you manage to sort of like please yourself and please the crowd, and you feel like, oh, I didn't play that and I didn't play that. You've got certain default records which you know if you play them, they're probably going to get good reaction, but you should play them at every gig. I don't want people to come and see me and think, oh, we played exactly the same set 9 months ago. There's going to be some similarities, but I try to keep it interesting for myself, as well as interesting for maybe someone who sees me regularly. So you're trying to sort of like, you know, juggle all those things. But I guess it's easier, like say if I play at Southport Weekender, it obviously isn't in London, and I've got that Weekender coming up in London, but what I know that crowd, I know what that crowd know, and I know what they like, and I know it's similar to what I like. So I'm not turning up there thinking, I wonder what this is going to be like. And that, as a DJ, if you turn up somewhere and you don't know what it's going to be like, often you end up playing maybe safer than you would want to, just because you're just hedging your bets a little bit. So. Or maybe you think, you know what, I'm going to play what I want, and then you completely go too far that direction, and you know, you end up losing the crowd because you just don't know. You know, if I'm playing somewhere, well, a country I maybe have never been before, to playing in Mexico or something like that, I don't know what the crowd are going to know, and I don't even know sometimes, is this the best place for me to play? You know, I might be speaking to people afterwards and they say, oh, you should be in that club, blah, 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 down the road, because that's more where the sort of music you would play gets played, whereas this club, certain people wouldn't come here because of maybe the dress code, or because it's too expensive and things like that, which you don't really know about that until you get there. Unless you know people in the town, you can sort of check that before you take the gig.